Alright, it's time to finish up the solutions for the dot plots assignment. When you flip over to the back, you get some dot plots, and you have to answer some questions about them, at least until you get to number 11. This first one, we got students in social studies class ask how many brothers and sisters they have. Dot plot shows the results. How many students have 6 siblings? Well, you go 6 and figure out how many dots that has. That's just 1. How many students have no siblings? Well, that'd be the ones that have 0 there. That's 3. And how many have 3 or more? That's this section. So that's 6 students there, and then 4, that's 10, plus the 1, that gives you 11. Well, that one's pretty quick. 9, resting pulse rates required for 16 boys in your class. Before exercising, this line plot or dot plot shows the results. What's the range? Well, you have to take the largest number, you subtract the smallest one. So if you do 85 minus the 79, you get 6. And then how many boys had a pulse rate over 81? Well, it's going to be these 3, these 4, and these 2. 3 plus 4 plus 2 is 9. How many had a pulse rate of 83? That's just those 4 there. And then how many boys had a pulse rate of, at most, 82? So you can include 82 in that count. It's just that section there. 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 1 is 7 plus 3 is 10. So it gives us 10 for that one. And that brings us to number 10. Height of 20 players in inches given. Make a dot plot on the number line below. Well, this one's awfully convenient because the number's already there. So you just have to figure out how many 68s there are. There's 1. 1. So I can put 1x there. How many 69s are there? There's none. How many 70s are there? There's 1, 2, 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. How many 71s? There's 1, 2 of those. How many 72s? There's none. 73s, none. 74s, none. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 75s though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any 76s? No, there's a 77. And there's no more 70s. It's going to move us over to 80. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 80s. There's 1 81. And there's an 82. An 83 and an 84. So these all have 1. And ta-da, there's your dot plot. And we're going to tell you what's the spread or the range of the data. Well, it goes from 84 to 69. So if you did 84 minus the 69, that's going to give you 15. What's the mode of the data? Well, that's the tallest stack here, which is 75. And how many players are greater than 70 inches tall? So that's going to be all this section. Greater than 70. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 16 of those that are greater than 70 inches tall. And there's that. And that brings us to the last column. And these are kind of the challenging questions because they give you some restrictions and you have to come up with a dot plot. You don't have the data set. You just have to figure one out. And there's multiple answers. So work through it on your own. A, the median age of Steve's 6 crocodiles is 14. The range of their ages is 12 years, and the mode is 10. So when you see something like the mode is 10, that number needs to show up the most. And so 10 is going to have at least 2 dots on it. There are 6 crocodiles total, so I got 4 more X's I need to put down. I can use here that the range of the age is 12, so I could go from, say, 4 to 16, and I could go from 6 to 18, and I could go from 8 to 20. So there's a lot of different options. I'm going to use the fact that the median is 14 to kind of help me out. I want this to be the center of my data. So I want the same amount on this side as I have over here. And so if I pick a number for 8, 8 to be the least, 20 has to be the most. And so let's do that. Let's put one at 8 and one at 20. And now we have 2 more x's to put down. But I want this to be the median. And so since 10 is 2 away, the lowest number over here that I can have is got to be 18. And if I were to put another x there, I would have 2 modes, so I don't want that one. And I'm going to actually shift this over. Instead of having those, I'm going to have it be 10 and then 22. And that makes it so I can actually add an x there, or I can add one over here. And my median is going to be the same, because we have a data set of 10, 10, 10, and then 18, 18, 22. The median is going to be in the middle, which is going to be 14. The mode's 10. The range is 12 from 10 to 22. And that one's good. Oh, so there's one example. If you move on to B, Sir Fruity took 6 math tests during the last quarter. His mean percent was 83, and his median percent was 85. So when you see a mean, that means the average of all his tests. And so if you took 6 math tests and you add them all up and then you divide by 6, you'll get 83. Well, so some number when you divide by 6 is going to give you 83. That's the total of all the test scores, is this x number. Well, if I want to figure out what that x is, I just take both sides and times by 6. So if I take 83 and I times by 6, that's going to give me 498. And what I need to do at this point is start subtracting out some of the scores. Really, I can start picking numbers over here and numbers over here, and they just have to balance out, and they all have to add up to 498. And the median needs to be 85. So really what I could do is just have 85 be all but one of my tests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 of them. So if I were to subtract out 85 times 5, I would get 73. So if I were to take, come down here and just go down to 73, that can be my other number. And that one would be good to go. Yeah, because if you add them all up, divide by 6, you get 83. And if you try and figure out the median, the data set right now is 73 and then 85 5 times. And so my median would be 85 there in the middle. And that brings us to the last one. So Laurel borrowed coins from 8 of her classmates and wrote down how many each one had. The smallest number that someone had was 7, so I'm going to put that down right away because that number's not going to change. The mode was 11, so 11's got to have at least 2, and that might be more or less. The median was 10, and the range was 9. So if the lowest is 7, and the range is 9, I need to take 7 and go 9 above that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Okay, and right now we have 8 of the coins already. 8 of the amount of coins already, just based off the information, the range part, the minimum, and the mode. Okay, we also want the median to be 10, so that's right here. So if, well, and that's like our only last condition, we just have to make sure we don't mess up the mode part. And so right here on the right side of 10, there are 3 numbers. So I'm going to have 3 on the left. Right now I'm at 6. You can add one up here and then add one over here. That'll keep the mode as 11 and the median is 10. And that's actually 8 data points. So that'd be 7, 8, 9, 9, 11, 11, 11, and then 16. If you're trying to get the median, it's right there halfway between 9 and 11, which is going to be 10. The range is 9 from 7 to 16. The minimum was 7. Mode was 11. And there you go. And yeah, there you go. All done.